Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Cornejo and this is my visual work for the final project of the International Business Management Certificate. Today I'm going to talk about globalization, but more specifically to the CEMEX company. When someone wants to globalize a company, especially when it is from a developing country such as Mexico, you really need to apply more advanced management techniques to do things better. For example, well, in this case, CEMEX, I'm pretty sure that when they started, they really need to work on their business models so they could start having actions and different business centers in worldwide. That's why you kind of really need to work on your business models because you are coming from a country that is not exactly developed when it comes to business material, like for example the US. So that's why you really need to work on these structures and models. We have seen many cement companies that use their capital to acquire other companies, but without making the effort to have a common culture or common processes. They just believe it is better to start another company that is already developed, instead of working in trying to make it a bigger, better, and international company like CEMEX. They're simply not into the project. That's why CEMEX has become one of the most important companies already around the world, because it has shown that even if it comes from a non-so developed countries like Mexico, they can still work hard and still succeed when it comes to globalize. CEMEX is a company that is dedicated to creating sustainable value by providing leading products and solutions to satisfy the needs of customers all around the world. We have seen that the business environment in Mexico is diverse. There are a lot of entrepreneurships in the country. Some of them are born out of a necessity. Some others are created out of a great innovation. Was born in 1906 to be the leader company in the cement industry. CEMEX's success over the years of its first international acquisition was not only noticeable, because coming from a country that is like this, not so developed, and then having the next company center, let's call it, industrialized and open somewhere else, it is already so much calling for attention because it is telling us that we can definitely globalize. For trade policies, we can observe the new rules that have been made by the government. Some of them have changed over the years, past of the years, like for example, what the treaties they have with US. CEMEX has been heavily invested in the US cement industry for many years. Even when the company experienced an acquisition in the 2000s, the settlement comes not only at a time when key litigation decisions are soon to be issued, but also at a time when the U.S. is experiencing critical cement shortages. Trade agreements between Mexico and the U.S. have existed for so long, and they have also been respected over the years. As for the clusters, the Mexican cement industries clusters has decided that the Colombian subsidiary wants to strengthen businesses in 3 different areas. The electric generation through the new company, CEMEX Energy having their own distributions network with their franchises called Construrama. We have seen those, for example, here in Sonora we have a lot of Construramas, and I believe in Colombia they have them too. And an even bigger participation in the different projects in 4G routes. Actually, this company of recent creation is prepared to participate with everything in the projects derived of the energetic reform. As for the different sectors in the economy of a country, we have the primary sector. This relates to CEMEX because they work in its hill and extract as much as they can so they can start producing the cement that we use to build. Secondary sector is the transformations of raw materials into goods. This stage is when they take all the dirt that was extracted from the hill and start working in it and giving the process that they need, so the material transforms into cement, which is the one we use with our hands. The tertiary sector involves the supplying of services to customers and businesses. This, for example, is when they already have the cement onto the bag, what it should be, the pack, and then they give these packs to Construrama, which is their own store, and then people go to Construrama and buys it, and then they can use it. For culture, diversity, and demographics, we know that CEMEX is a proudly Mexican business, as I said before. So we are reviewing a bit of Mexico's culture. The culture is a blend of different traditions, like from we have some traditions from the US. That's kind of the biggest of our influences because we are like together in the northern part of Mexico with the southern part of the US. For example, Independence Day, which is celebrated in September, we usually celebrate it eating all the most characteristic foods from different states from the country. Mexican Revolution is kind of like Independence Days, and it also includes all the folkloric dances. In the northern region of Mexico, we do adopt a little more of the American cultures, as I said, because we are like together. Financially, Mexico is among the best of the countries. It may not be the 10th country with the best economy of the world, but it is very close to that. I think actually we're the 14th. Since the 1994 crisis, administrations have improved the country's macroeconomics fundamentals. It means we're no longer at the bottom because of the different types of crises we have had. We are actually stronger with all the franchise businesses that have moved here in the different automobile industries from around the world. Like for example, when BMW came here, Audi is actually it's also in Mexico. I'm sorry, not exactly here in this state. We don't have any of that, but we do have BMW, which is already kind of like Mexicans already prefer those kind of brands because we already know what kind of quality they have. Politics and policies. It is hard to say we have a politically good, stable government. Political groups are against each other every day, and they will definitely do that change. So they can own the country and have the power to make the change they all want to demonstrate that they can be done. We can say that CEMEX started in a good place with businesses. Instead of moving out to another country and start businesses there, like for example, instead of moving their idea to the US and said that they started as an American company, they decided that they wanted to really do it from Mexico because it was done by a Mexican person. The fact that it stayed like that they really wanted to improve and globalize the company like this without even having a thought and trying to succeed and really go international from Mexico, it was really, really good for Mexico because it really, really elevated the economy. The operations have helped a lot to launch the economy in the country, but also for another enterprises and companies to see that they are good. We are a good place to invest in. For example, we have, as I mentioned, BMW. We have Ford Motor Company, franchises like McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Dairy Queen, Cinemark, etc. Thanks to all these companies that have come into the country, the investments on the country enterprises, we may now say that we are a very competitive and stable economy. Compared to some others, we are kind of stable and good, and we are on the look for another international companies to come and invest in with. Well, thank you. This was my exposition of the globalization the CEMEX way, and thank you so much for watching.